We're looking at chapter 12 of our text that deals with persuasion. This particular video segment looks at types of persuasive claims. So we've looked at your general goals as well as your narrower persuasive aims, goals and aims, and certainly they are very different. Your goals may be to change an attitude or change an action, adopt an action, right? Your narrower persuasive aims may be to start doing something, to stop doing something, to never start doing something. We've looked at those 4 different types of narrow persuasive aims. This particular section, the types of persuasive claims, narrows it down just a little bit further. And there are 4 different types of persuasive claims. The first is a proposition of fact. This is where you persuade your listeners that your interpretation of an event or situation or concept is accurate. So they want proof. So you might say that water fluoridation can lead to health problems. You need to show the connection between the two. College is not the place for all students. It either is or it isn't. Hunting is a way to control the deer population. All right, it's a factual. American corporations are not paying their fair share in income taxes. So propositions of fact. An informative speaker now moves across the line and becomes a persuasive speaker when they move from just presenting the facts to presenting the facts within the context of a point of view. The informative speaker lets listeners decide on a position based on their own analysis of the facts. You just give them the facts. A persuasive speaker joins the dotted lines. He draws the conclusion for them by joining the dots. The second type of persuasive claim is a proposition of value. We've talked about values in the past when we've related beliefs, values, and attitudes. Values are deep-seated ideals that determine what we consider as being good or bad, moral or immoral, satisfying or unsatisfying, proper or improper, wise or foolish, valuable or invaluable. Persuasive speeches that deal with propositions of value are assertions rooted in judgments. It's your judgments. It's your determination of whether it's good or bad, moral or immoral. So you might say, this might be your thesis, taking a physical education course each year will improve the college experience. Now, how do you prove it on a factual basis? It's rather difficult. It's how people value an education course and how much it contributes to the value of the college experience. The speaker's goal now in a proposition of value is to prove the worth of that evaluative statement. Look at the following examples. It is wrong to criminalize recreational or medicinal use of marijuana. Violence in professional sports is unjustified. Plagiarizing to complete an assignment is dishonest. The last one maybe it's either honest or dishonest, so it may be more factual. When you use words that can be considered judgments or evaluations, then you're making a proposition of value. The third type of persuasive claim is a proposition of policy. This is where you propose a course of action. And some of the key words involved would, should, could. All college students should be required to take a 1-credit physical education course each year. So it's something that either should be done or should not be done. So the key words, as I said, are should, ought, have, or must. Here's some examples. Campus safety should be reevaluated by the college administration. The same general student academic standards ought to apply to student athletes. College athletes should be paid. Animals must not be used for product testing in scientific laboratories. So in a policy speech, speakers convince listeners of both the need for change and what the change should be about. So propositions of value have a factual basis to it and a value aspect. Facts need to support the need for the course of action, and values are certainly part of the policy statement. So In that same speech we spoke about earlier, in using animals for product testing, the person giving the speech against it most likely values animals, and yet needs to give factual statements about how using animals in testing certainly is inhumane and unethical. The next segment, we'll deal with the last two, that is organizing persuasive speeches and the ethics of persuasive speaking.